Hi everyone, it's Broken Dice bringing you another little installment in my solo wargaming system that I'm using. Now, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. This has all kind of been done before in different books and stuff. So this is just how I'm going to use it in conjunction with Hail Caesar. So obviously, this is all about strategy points that are randomly distributed across the table after deployment to kind of give myself another little challenge in tactical decision making on the table. So let's use this unit as an example. Okay, I left that on there. This unit of hoplites, they're elite and they have the phalanx special rule. All right, so let's just say, for example, they've taken 4 strategy points from the opposing army, either being a couple of small units worth 2 points apiece or one big unit worth 4, but they have 4 points to spend upon themselves. Now, I, as the owning player, think, okay, I want to add a clash dice, an attack dice, basically. Well, that's going to take 3 points. And the reason I use 3 points is and that'll leave them with just 1 point left. There we go. And 3 points is like, it represents this being a constant change rather than a momentary change. Like it's not like the tough fighter. It's not like a re-roll of something that is dependent on a different action for this to take place. This is just an addition. It is a quantitative change in the clash dice pool. All right, so that costs 3. And say I want to add tough fighter as well, it would give me a re-roll. Well, that's going to make this pretty tough. You get an extra clash dice plus a re-roll of a missed attack. Yeah, that would make them very tough. So that would take up all 4 points. Now, we are lucky in Hail Caesar because they have a list of all those points values in the Army List books. The newest one they came out, that's thicker, has all the Army lists, and it's also in the Biblical to Classical book. Biblical to Classical book is on page 81. The larger book is on page 153. So we've spent our points, and now we have a special rule and an attribute upgrade. All right. So let's now go over the rules I use in controlling these points and how they're affected in the game. Okay. First off, you can only increase 1 attribute per unit. You can only increase it 1 time. So you can't, like, I can't say, oh, I want to add 4 dice and stuff like that. No, you'd have to have an awful lot of strategic points that you've acquired. Okay. Excuse me. A unit must, rule number 3, you can combine it with a special rule like I've done here with the tough fighter. So now you've got a really good unit, but these 4 points that I've spent are also 4 points of increase for that unit to put it on the table. So you're going to have to bite the bullet somewhere else for those 4 points. A unit, rule number 4, a unit must survive the battle and not be shaken or part of a broken division to receive any of these attributes. Perhaps this unit has acquired points, but right at the last they become shaken, which means they've suffered enough damage that as they have to replenish their numbers, they won't have the guys available to maintain whatever elite status or special rule or additional dice were acquired from the game before. So that's important. And then if they're in a battle and they have these points already from a previous battle and they become broken or shaken, they lose those additional upgrades and go back to their base stat line. Okay, so that'll make you think on the table on how to use some of these units and just how pricey you want to make them. Okay. Well, that's just kind of a quick little overview. I'm going to do another game where I'm going to play this stuff out, see how it works out. Um, I think it's going to do okay because it's kind of similar to some other things that I've done in the past. I'm just trying to work it into Hail Caesar. But like I said before, this is more of an outline for everyone to use. I don't care if it's skirmish or large battle. All right, that brings us to the end of this little video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's start a conversation about this kind of stuff because sometimes, you just don't have an opponent, but you want to play a game, but you don't want to know what, you want it a little bit more interesting than just moving stuff across the table. All right, that brings us to the end of this video. Everybody stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time.